Today is a Monday, October 16, 2023. Israel-Palestine conflict. Gallant expresses confidence in Israel's triumph for national and American values. Israeli Defence Minister Yoav Brave has shown up close by Blinken in Tel Aviv, emphasizing that Israel will win the conflict. This will be a long conflict, the cost will be high, yet we will win for Israel, for the Jewish public, and for the qualities that the two nations Israel and the US have confidence in, Heroic told columnists. Squint ends central goal to the Center-East not fruitful, Investigator. Blinken's main goal to the Center-East has been a troublesome one that has prompted little achievement. To start with, he should uphold genuinely Israel's fundamentally destructive conflict against Gaza, Bishara expressed, spreading out the top US ambassador's objectives. 2. He should impede anybody in the area from thinking about meddling or inciting Israel as it was pursuing this conflict. 3. He needed to safeguard Israel fundamentally from analysis and bring out judgment by Israel's accomplices. 4th, he needs to ensure that Bedouins will assist him with Hamas to deliver whatever number of prisoners could be allowed, without giving anything as a trade-off. That is likewise difficult, Bishara said. It was actually a troublesome mission for him. However, he attempted however much as could reasonably be expected to get an understanding of some kind, for the Bedouins to restrain their analysis, to discuss the compassionate emergencies without going the whole way to censure Israel. Loss of life such a long way in 2023 most noteworthy in 20 years, Measurements Department. In excess of 3,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza and the involved West Bank starting from the start of the year, figures by the Palestinian Focal Department of Measurements show. The vast majority of these killings happened in the blockaded seaside territory that is presently barraged by Israel following Hamas assault. In a public statement, the establishment said the loss of life is the most elevated in around 20 years. It likewise delivered the accompanying measurements about Gaza. Joblessness rate, 45%, during the principal half of 2023. Neediness and unhealthiness, 80%. Commitment to Palestinian region's gross domestic product, 18%. Blinken is in Tel Aviv as Israel prepares to hostile into Gaza. Tel Aviv Secretary of State Antony Blinken appeared in Israel on Monday to promise support for the country as it prepares for a huge military antagonism in Gaza. Blinken met Israeli state pioneer Benjamin Netanyahu and President Isaac Herzog in Jerusalem. He went to Tel Aviv near meet with the contention authority. The visit to Israel, Blinken's second in 2 or 3 days, comes after President Biden forewarned that one more Israeli control of Gaza would be a serious mistake, one of his firmest undertakings to signal impediment to Israel as the supportive crisis in Gaza shows up at essential levels. Around 600,000 individuals have been uprooted from the north of the territory, help organizations say. Food and water supplies in Gaza are perilously low and emergency clinics there will run out of fuel in somewhere around 24 hours, the UN Office for the Coordination of Compassionate Issues said Sunday. Source, Washington Post. Netanyahu faces expanding examination, calls for renunciation. Israeli head of the state Benjamin Netanyahu winds up under expanding tension as his state plans for what he said will be a long and troublesome conflict. Tending to the launch of the Israeli parliament's colder time of year meeting on Monday, that's what Netanyahu said, assurance will be required on the grounds that the conflict won't be short. What he didn't do was assume liability. Soon after he talked, the plenum was cleared as air attack alarms based in Jerusalem. Netanyahu has confronted analysis for his treatment of the result of the assault, and a portion of the main public requires his renunciation came Saturday when around 1,000 Israelis accumulated external the protection service in Tel Aviv to request government support for the many Israeli families whose friends and family were kidnapped during Hamas' October 7 assault. Netanyahu has not taken inquiries from columnists since the conflict started. Previous state leader and previous Israeli armed force boss Ehud Barak pinned Netanyahu on Sunday for the biggest disappointment in Israel's set of experiences. That very day, Moshe Yaalon, a resistance administrator and previous Israeli armed force head of staff, said in a meeting that each day that Netanyahu stays in power jeopardizes Israel. A developing number of Netanyahu's priests have communicated humility, the most recent being diaspora clergyman Amichai Chikli. Chikli, who has chipped in for the stores, said in a meeting with Israeli Channel 12, "We didn't ascend to the occasion. We flopped in our main goal. The Israeli government didn't prevail in the essential mission of getting the country's security. Frantic groups of Israeli prisoners are still in obscurity 7 days on from Hamas frenzy." Tel Aviv source, CNN. The last impression Adina Moshe's family saw of her shows the 72-year elderly person on a motorbike, wedged between two Hamas contenders grabbing her from the Nir Ounce kibbutz close to Gaza. Moshe looks panicked, however is holding her head high. The frightening picture is highlighted on a missing individual notification that has been posted close by many others on the mass of Hakiria, the public authority and military quarters in Tel Aviv. To begin with, I was unable to take a gander at it since it's so surprising. You can see the ruffians who killed her significant other and put her on a bike, and she needs to clutch him so she doesn't fall, Moshe's niece Inav Moshe Barda told CNN during a get-together external Hakiria. Moshe Barda said the family was told by specialists that Moshe is accepted to be among individuals who have been taken to Gaza. The Israel Safeguard Powers, IDF, said on Friday that it advised the groups of 120 individuals abducted, yet delivered no other data. Those families are as yet trapped in horrifying limbo 7 days after the assault. All we have been told is that her telephone is in Gaza. Myrav Gallant, whose girl Romy was seized from the Cosmic Explosion dance celebration, told CNN. "I realized she was shot. She called me at 10:15 and I was on with her until 10:58, she was disappearing and I heard shooting around her approaching nearer to the vehicle and afterward, individuals yelling in Arabic, yelling she was alive and that they required her," she said. Gallant was addressing CNN at the stopgap Central Command of the Groups of Prisoners and Missing People discussion in Tel Aviv. This gathering was shaped to offer help to those impacted by the emergency. Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.